I'll be able to broadcast. What do you think? Oh yeah, shaky, shaky.
Now our fears, they're losing face. We all move through faith. If you're no worried, you can get my small team.
This is a new one.
Sail away to
One of the actors who's oh God. You mean like whatever?
Yeah, whatever.
No, she can't. No, that's not.
Doesn't matter, I don't need to.
She's not. Wait, no, she's not in the show. It's replay, oh, good. There it is.
If there is a nicer place in my beautiful we can sing a conversation
If by some chance you find yourself wondering, if by some cloud to hide us, come beside us.
love is waiting there in my beautiful balloon, way up in the air, in my beautiful balloon. If you hold my hand, we'll take you across the sky. We can fly.
I like this
Hey, Tom, we're live. Oh, we're live? Yeah. Looks like we're going to make a fool of yourself.
Hard Deck Cafe.
Is this thing on? Hey, we're live again. We had technical issues because the alien mother was trying to sabotage the show. Thanks to the work of Reverend Angel Dustin, our technical team, including Robert Young and who else? Alan Bushnell. We're back live online. So welcome back to the Hard Deck Cafe in downtown Gainesville, Florida. Home of the Gators in the Rain Institute. It's supposed to be a cold front tonight. And don't forget this weekend, 2 massive competing Tom Petty events combined with Pride Week. All this week it's going to be a nut job.
Hopefully that's good.
I'm not too great, no matter, no matter around you, I swear.
I'm gonna go near election.
Anything goes.
I would use funeral strippers.
I want that.
You want to come with me tomorrow?
No, I just want to try these funeral
Funeral
strippers.
strippers at your funeral?
Hey, my funeral. Yeah.
Just take it
I'm
easy.
not kidding you. I have a friend in this station.
No pain, she got it in a dream, she got from the
They
blick
came
in
up
the
just these funeral strippers, Reverend, that's what they
Anything
next week.
I'm going to election tomorrow. You asked.
Anything
No, not
goes.
tomorrow. It's Friday. On Friday.
I'm gonna make that decision next week. Hedonism funeral strippers.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay for next week? Yeah, dig them up.
It's the
Dig them up. Funeral trip. I'm trying to get this one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know what? I saw an ad that Alachua County Board of Elections did a poll evidence. So I went down there and out there and stayed in Baltimore. Like legit.
You're talking, you're working on a space trip.
Well, you work with you work with some other dragons. No relation to that.
Are we on Facebook now? Because we get immediate response. We both got it.
I feel like I'm a wizard.
Well,
He's gonna have a devil's triangle.
What it says is, never give honest. So you don't give them quantity, you don't give them quality, you don't give them speed. Well, you give them speed, but you know,
Not that kind.
our kind of speed. And you know, and that's how the Tabernacle makes us live. Because if you gave them, they have to stay home. They never come out. This is all by design. This is all happening by design. Intelligent is
Okay, good.
Ooh, that sounded nice. Excuse me, Rev. All right, so this is a great show. So we got 3 people. Good. This will be great. Keep this over. This is the show. There's no other music. No, we don't do that. We'll just call you. Tell me your name again. I know you. Okay. Yeah, we'll have fun.
I gotta tell you, I love this place. It doesn't matter what I do. I hang out and go on London after. They have fun after. They were just at the film center. Yeah, their shows came here. They came not to this place. I had University of California.
Oh, okay.
This place called the Public Sphere, Humanities in the Public Sphere. Well, it's all you know, bunch of academics. And me, I'm like the public sphere that they speak to. But it was like, don't have lunch, and it was like 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. And this time I have worked with Phoenix today. I've partied with Marky. I've done a show where I played naked and Marky Phoenix and what's his name? Timothy Leary in the audience at the same time. I love it. Funeral strippers. Taiwanese funeral strippers.
I'm gonna be there, man.
That's their name next week.
About 3 in the afternoon.
Taiwanese funeral strippers with special guest expert lecturer who's going to give us the whatever you want to say. Your real name? Dr. Taiwan. You want to say? Worm is in the house. No, I'm thinking about it, but I never like to do that. I know who you are.
What is it?
There is a team. Barry's here with come every week. You get more than us. Alrighty.
My son gave me a
now my father's gone to time through.
Yeah, I better write the show.
So tea time, I gingerbread, and my brownies white green.
I've sold so
I
much
can
here.
call tea, babe, cause I'm ahead. Has my green thumb gone astray? Sweet daughter, the you was his next, and it crazy just a I really swear say the day yes, I dream of saying just to learn. My place was yours. The greatest so my friends and name, I can't have the best. I can't forget the little wants to be my always speak of you with such admiration, but we all must face the age. Many a compensation when I was younger, like you hunger. I see easier now when I was prettier, when I was prettier, unless I did not regret it. I sleep easier now, I sleep easier now. In the olden days at 10 p.m. I'd be dancing every place. But singing when it's 10 p.m. I'll be sparkling breeze on my face. When I was ready, and I was ready, I said no, but I was ready. I sleep easier now, I sleep easier now. When I was smaller, when I was smaller, I should entertain the corner. I sleep easier now. In the olden days at 10 p.m. I'd be heading in a hat. But this evening when it's 10 p.m. you'll find me hitting the sack.
How am I looking?
When I was snappier, when I was snappier, I made up the boyfriend's hat. I sleep easier now, I sleep easier now. Yes, I sleep easier now, I sleep easier now.
It's a fun show. It's really great. We can't start till Granny gets here, though. Granny's holding us up. Look out! Where's Cowboy been?
This is show.
See, you're getting it. You're starting to really become a fan. Hey, speaking of easy shows, Alex.
She makes me happy, and when I'm with you, she breaks me up and me. I can go on talking, I'm
Is that her whistling? Oh, is this what you drew? Oh, that's great, Michael. Hey, I'm gonna draw one too. Okay, here's what I'm gonna draw.
Tease another couple of rows out of here.
All right. Well, I like this thing. It takes a long time to figure out those guys.
I'd love to get her a chance to do the groovy dance.
Okay, Reverend.
Her song make me sing. But when I take a crack, my sacrament reminds me I'm not 17. Oh, Brandy Butter. Brandy Butter.
This is the Granny song, so Granny should be here any minute.
Granny Supper, that's me. Woo!
Yeah.
Come on, let's rock. Let's do this.
And wear my hair down to the floor.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not that.
Come on. Are we on live? Are we on Facebook? We're on YouTube? Holy shit, YouTube went down on me last night. Thank you, thank you. Apparently YouTube's not just going down, it went down on everybody last night, is what I heard. They wrote a bunch of articles about it and they didn't even publish the pictures. I was so disappointed. I would have loved to have seen YouTube go down on everybody. I would have digitally jerked to that. Thank you.
No matter what.
YouTube really did go down on everybody.
And I'll be out of sight until those men in white are coming out to me someday.
It makes you wonder, it begs the question, if Facebook goes down on everybody, what's Zuckerberg tasting?
Granny's for that's me.
Yeah, yeah.
Granny's for that's me. Granny's for that's me.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Great. All right, here it goes. I guess this is the show. I guess it's the show. Thank you. We'd like to welcome Facebook and you, Screw, on to the program tonight. We've stepped up our technology. Now we can be seen all over the world except in Uganda. They don't have computers. It's not censorship. No, they probably do have computers in Uganda. Reverend, could you get on the internet and find out if they have computers in Uganda? Meanwhile, I'll talk to my artificially intelligent second brain here. Hey Siri, do they have computers in Uganda?
Here's what I found on the web for do they have computers in Uganda.
Otherwise, it doesn't fit in the theme here.
No. Okay, great. Thank you for coming. Thank you. A new guest just arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Famous traveler. Round of applause. Round of applause. We have no idea what we're going to hear, but Ryan is in the house tonight. Thank you.
John Wasser is here, aka Wasser Mania. T-shirts, novels about gender non-specific werewolves and vampires doing each other. All kinds of great stuff with John Wasser. Thank you for being here. Reverend Angel Dust is here. The Reverend Angel Dust has 3 hats that he wears, probably 4 or 5. We have the La Cosa Nostra hat when we're feeling like we're in an Italian mafia. And then he's got this hat, and this hat to me, this hat represents the Reverend Angel Dust going out into the field evangelizing to Mexicans. Is that about right?
Yeah. And marijuana growers in Canada.
And Canadian marijuana growers, which is a great segue to bring us to our theme tonight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's theme, it is Canadian Marijuana Day. The Reverend and I sat down and we were talking all week long. We're like, what are we going to do? And he said, well, I'm from Canada. And I said, get out, you're kidding. And then he's like, well, I'm a reverend, and I actually am the spiritual leader of the show. I said, perfect! Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. And then he said, I support marijuana all the time. Maybe some of the stuff I say about marijuana we could use at the show. And I'm like, oh my God, we could just not do one show. We could make a whole church around that. That's a brilliant idea. And then push come to shove, which is disgusting. And that's what happened. And so there we are. And so here we go. So that's that. Tonight I decided I'm putting the set list on a plate. This is a plate made out of stuff that kills sea life all over the country, all over the world. And, well, I don't know what it is. I know if you...
Polystyrene.
Thank you. We have our resident expert on everything and the punniest guy in the room. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Polystyrene. Doug is here. Give Doug a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He may not go on. He told me probably will not go on. So he signed up here. I'm going to warm you all up for him. And then what this show really loves to serve to our loving audience is disappointment. So that's why we're here. So, yeah, get a little disappointment in your life. Eddie is here. Give Eddie a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. With a classic Rolling Stones t-shirt on this evening. Thank you for that. And you may be wondering, who is that behind me? But if you look very carefully, you'll see that this is the King of Canada. And her name is... I can't remember. What is it? Justin Trudeau, ladies and gentlemen. And this picture is in progress always, but at the moment it's been painted by our resident fairy who is organizing the Las Vegas chips for our trip to Vegas, where we're going to evangelize and try to stop people from gambling in Vegas. We think we have a real good shot at it. Just need to go down there, show them Jamba, show them a little bit of the goddess. And they're going to take those chips and put that money where it belongs, in education, in Florida education. I gamble and put all my money in Florida education. I have never won on a scratch card ever. I won free scratch cards, and I occasionally won $1, but never have I won anything of substance. Has anyone here actually scratched off a scratch card and won more than $25? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, well there you have it. So that's the stats on that. Yeah. All right. So we better get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is up a random poem on the internet that I wrote, and then I'm going to read it. So here we go. I'm going to Google and I am typing poem. Now, if another Tom Miller poem comes up and it's better than mine, I'm going to read that. Here we go. All right, is everybody ready to have a show?
This is a show?
Yeah, this is the show. Okay, great. Okay. So it says, click here to read Tom Miller, Prose and Poems. This will be like chance poetry. I'll let you guide me to the correct poem. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm accepting a cookie. And apparently my phone is now unavailable and I have to pay through a charge card to somebody in Indonesia in order to recover my data.
Alan has a charge card.
Hey, look, it's the Tabernacle of Hedonism choir. The whole choir is here. This is great. Normally we just have you, but all of you showed up tonight. Thank you for that. That's really great news.
Tom, that was a great haiku about Indonesian ransomware.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Haiku. Gesundheit. Thank you. Okay. Here are some of the stories and poems that I'm not going to be reading tonight by title. I am not reading Diarrhea Restaurant, a.k.a. Paula Dean's Blackie Factory with Lemon Stupid Butter. I'm not reading that one. It's actually a story. It's just, no, it's too much. Okay, there is a poem called Gay Stuff, and I guess I'll read that. One day I met this dude, and we started to be gay together. Did almost everything except for the gross stuff. And then the dude started doing this other dude, but they did the gross stuff. And so I just sat around drinking and praying for death. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a very good poem. I will not be reading Religion Explained for Idiots. I will not be reading Starfucks. Oh, you want to hear that one? You like poems? I didn't know you liked poems. All right, I'll read Starfucks. Okay, here's a poem called Starfucks. Good morning, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you? Customer number 1 said, I'd like a grande coffee in a venti cup with 2 pumps hazelnut, 2 pumps vanilla, 2 pumps caramel, 2 equals 4 sweet and lows filled to the top with cream, extra cream on the side, double cupped with no sleeve, a stir stick, and put a stopper in the top. No problem. What's your name? Customer number 1, dickhead. What can I get for you, ma'am? Customer number 2 says, I'll have a tall, half skinny, half 1% extra hot split quad shot, 2 shots decaf, 2 shots regular latte with a whip. You bet. And your name is? Customer number 2, cunt. Thank you, cunt. Your order will be up in a minute. Good morning. What can I get started for you today? Customer number 3. I'll have a grande, extra hot soy, extra foam, split shot with a half squirt of sugar-free vanilla, half a squirt of sugar-free cinnamon, half a packet, is this for real? Half a packet of Splenda. Oh, and could you please put that in a venti cup and fill up the extra room with extra whipped cream and caramel and chocolate sauce drizzled over the top?
That's a lot of cream.
Yes, sir. Be happy to do that for you. What is your name? Customer number 3, Diarrhea Mouth. Coming right up, Mr. Diarrhea Mouth. And what can I get started for you, sir? Customer number 4. I would like a goddamn cup of motherfucking coffee, please. Cool beans. And your name? Tom Miller. Thank you. That is a true story. And finally, I will not be reading Polish Space Monkeys, I will not be reading future poems. I will not be reading So White. I will not be reading The Yellow Gorilla. I will not be reading Don't You Think You've Had Enough Coffee. I will not be reading Redneck Bubba and the Shrimp Incident. That's a good one, though. You're really missing out. And finally, I will be reading You Will Be Remembered for Your Last Worst Thing. And forgive me, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to be struggling to read this. I struggle for you because I love you. I love art, and I'm willing to squint for art. You will be remembered for your last worst thing. It will not be the good poems, or the great deeds, or the comfort you gave, or the entertainment you provided, nor the last great thing you did in bed when you met one-on-one in the infinite moment of orgasm's nonsense. It will be when you shit before you had the chance to get your pants down. It will be when you should have said what you thought about saying on reflection after the fact. It will be remembering when you were much stupider to know better but did not do what you should have done to help your best friend from drowning. It will be when you ran away crying, hiding your eyes and pretending horrible things never happen to human beings, but they do happen, and so you look away and pretend. It will be something that bubbled up on the internet from your past, like a piece of pig fat melting into the most delicious thing that ever clogged your broken heart. You will be remembered for the last worst thing you ever did. You will not be remembered for the first best thing you ever lost. And even if by some chance of fate any good you did would outshine your failures, there will be the jokes that are not true, and those jokes will grow old, and then they will be ridiculed, and then they will be forgotten. You will be forgotten, but not before you are for the last worst thing you ever did. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Reverend Angel Dust. The Reverend Angel Dust, everybody! Yay.
Green.
Green.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Vert.
Fair.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Je suis stoned.
This is so.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
God has blessed Canada. Marijuana is legal. I have been fighting for this for 32 years. And with your help, mes amis, we have done it. Hallelujah. It is because of the tumultuous toils, the endless activism, and the perpetuity of our activism and organizing the community that this has happened in Canada.
Oregon. Nice.
We legalized marijuana in Canada by being activists here in Florida. Isn't that wonderful?
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh
And
my
Tom
God.
Miller will vouch for that.
I vouch for that.
When you got involved in the legalization movement 40 years ago,
Yes.
didn't you say that we need to legalize marijuana in Canada?
Absolutely. Especially there first, and then everywhere else.
Yes! Hallelujah! God bless everyone. In fact, there may be one other country where it's legalized, but not here, Uganda. Anyway, the Canadian government is salvating at all of the revenue that it may be obtaining and procuring from the sale and distribution of marijuana.
Hallelujah.
In fact, sales tax in Canada is 15%.
Wow.
20%. 15% is pretty good. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Meanwhile, Ronald Dump here in America is giving tax breaks
He's
to the
helping.
corporations.
He's helping.
And all of the people earning more than 200,000.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets tax boku. Anyway. Amen. And what happened to the national debt?
It went up.
17%.
It's huge. Capitalism is
After
on
the
trail.
first year of Ronald Dump.
Yeah, he's really pushing the envelope.
He is pushing America into the sacred dumpster. Hallelujah. We have given Ronald Dump a chance to destroy America, and he's doing it. Yay!
Yeah. I've been taken by the Spirit. I can't stop undulating.
In fact, pretty soon we're going to have Doobie-topia because we're all going to be naked because we can't afford clothes.
Yes. I can't take
Because
it.
the tariffs on the clothes will be too high.
Yes, Jehovah, take me now.
And the people here will be too high to make the clothes.
So high, so high. Ah.
And the banks will be going to Hong Kong because there's no money here.
I'm speaking in tongues. I'm going to
And we're going to have marijuana everywhere. Yes, marijuana is going to be growing in vacant lots beside the highway, in bowling balls, parking lots, next to grocery stores, next to the sacred dumpster, in the sacred dumpster.
Hallelujah.
God is blessed, everyone.
Oh,
And it's, as you know, marijuana cures everything.
Everything.
We may not even have AmeriCare. We may go straight from Obamacare to Ojambacare.
Yes.
And when we have Ojambacare under the political system of Doobie-topia, we have free, socialized, and readily available
Come on.
marijuana. We will end marijuana not by smashing the state,
No.
not by withering the state away slowly,
No.
but by letting the state implode immediately.
Yes. Hallelujah.
And thus, we will have marijuana which cures athlete's foot, congestion,
Yes.
Stuffed nasals,
Yes. That's
earwax,
right.
Bad hair days,
Urethral warts.
urethral warts, yes, and pregnancy,
Pregnancy. That needs to be cured sometimes.
Yes.
unwanted and wanted pregnancy.
Yes, yes. Don't talk about our child.
Marijuana cures everything. Hallelujah. God is blessed.
Hallelujah. cancer was having me, I could have been cured and I wouldn't have to be here enduring this.
But in the meantime, we have to endure Shan's. Shan's has gone to the toilet.
What?
And there is a raccoon stuck in the toilet.
Hold on a minute.
And the feces
Come
are
on,
rolling
you're on a roll.
out the toilet,
Out the toilet.
into the floor,
Yes.
under the door,
Feces out the
and
toilet.
down the hallway to the cancer ward,
Yes.
where people are having chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, God is bless everyone.
Yes. Oh,
And
Reverend.
this is a result of the 17% deficit. Hallelujah, God is bless
Hallelujah.
everyone. And that's because he's not getting any marijuana revenue like the Canadians are. Hallelujah. God bless everyone. Pretty soon, Cuba is going to be doing better than the United States because they are going to be selling marijuana to Canadians
Hallelujah.
and taxing it. Hallelujah. God is bless everyone.
Reverend, are they going to roll it up in those big cigar papers?
You betcha. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Daps, they're going to have gummy bears.
Gummy Cuba bears.
Well, Delta 11s.
Oh, man. This is a glorious day.
Yeah,
Glorious day.
the Daps have Delta 8, and the cigars have Delta 8s, but the gummy bears have Delta 11s.
Cuban gummy bears.
The Delta 11s will put you on the floor and into the hospital.
Yes. Or you can eat raccoon shit over a chance.
I realized that today was the day when the bikini lady proclaimed marijuana was legal, and that it was going to be available to most people, except some would be not allowed to take it. And Patricia Bikini, exactly, that's her name, Patricia Bikini. It's on my page, it's on the event announcement, it's on the Tabernacle group. Patricia Bikini. And she was on her way to rehab, court-ordered rehab. So she was lamenting the fact that she was on her way to court-ordered rehab while marijuana was being legalized and she couldn't have it.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's hard. I would like to invite her to the Tabernacle of Hedonism someday so that we can pray for her. And if she can't make it here to the Tabernacle of Hedonism, maybe we could get her to preach on the internet to the congregation. Yes, Patricia Bikini. Or Bikini. Was it Bikini Patricia? No, Patricia Bikini.
Is that bikini?
It's her name. It's her Periscope name. But anyway, she was on the way to rehab, unable to partake in the festivities. The marijuana lines at the Marijuana Control Board, you know, we have a liquor control board, and we also have a marijuana control board. So not only is the government getting the 15%, they're getting the profit. Just like I'm a prophet. So there were from all the way from BC, Vancouver, to St. John's, Newfoundland, people were actually in lines extending down to the end of the block, waiting for legalized marijuana. Hallelujah. And they interviewed the first man who actually said that I am proud to be a part of history. In fact, I wanted to be the first person to buy marijuana. That's why I've been lining up here for several days. His wife was here with him, and of course they were going to say, "Hey, are you going to get smashed tonight?" She said, "No, I'm not with well, and then I'll get smashed." Everything in moderation. That's a Canadian way, right?
Of course. Extremism for moderation.
Yes. Hallelujah. God bless everyone.
Hallelujah. Abstinence in moderation.
So
Be an extremist about moderation.
that's right. Tom's got the idea. Hallelujah. Stiff upper lip, right?
Whenever you can get it.
Right. Hallelujah. And as you know, God has saved the Queen. Hallelujah. Justin Trudeau is the is the Queen of Canada.
Yeah.
And she is ordained by the goddess Jama. Hallelujah. The great goddess. Thank you, Justin Trudeau. Hallelujah. This day will go down in infamy and will be even better remembered than the Gettysburg Address.
No doubt about it.
God bless everyone.
No doubt about it.
This is about freedom. Hallelujah.
It's about freedom.
They pardoned anybody who had been convicted of possessing marijuana less than 30 grams. Automatic pardon. Hallelujah. So they are emptying out the jails as I preach. Hallelujah. God is blessed. That is more money for schools. That is more money for curbing pollution. That's more money for cleaning up Lake Erie. That's more money for public, for the CBC. That's our public television. That's more money for helping moose, black bears, and polar bears. As you know, here in the Tabernacle of Hedonism, we are adverse to lynching black bears. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We don't want no lynching of black bears here in Florida, and no lynching of black bears up in Canada. Hallelujah. I got a message here here it is. Yes, it's from Justin Trudeau, and he's saying thank you for spreading the word. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And Justin, thank you for spreading the holiness and the gospel of the Tabernacle of Hedonism. Hallelujah. All right, any special prayers?
Madonna.
Molly Madonna. Hallelujah. We love Madonna. The Tabernacle of Choir used to date Madonna in high school.
So did I.
Where'd he go?
And we love Molly. Hallelujah.
Molly and Madonna.
Molly for everybody. Hallelujah. God is bless you. Yes.
A prayer for Mark Borkin, who apparently did date Madonna.
Oh, Mark did date Madonna.
Mark Borkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is Mark Borkin?
Just a friend.
He's just a guy around town.
He's like a virgin.
Mark Borkin, who actually dated Madonna. Is he a musician?
He just needs some shots.
He just needs some shots. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know.
And a prayer for Michael, who blowed the storm ashore. Hallelujah!
Hey, oh,
Michael
yeah.
blowed the storm ashore.
Good,
special prayer for Taiwanese funeral strippers.
Indeed.
Yes. Hey, that's our theme next week.
Oh my God.
Nudity is not fluidity. Hallelujah. God is blessed. It's art.
Yes.
God is blessed.
God is sorry.
Any other special prayers? Anybody getting married? Anybody dying? Anybody sick? Anybody going to the Ojambasphere? Anybody going condemned to join the alien motherhood down below?
God forbid.
Mike Garvin's Achilles wound.
Mike Garvin's Achilles wound.
Yes, he hurt his Achilles.
Okay.
Yes. He
Yes.
fell down the
Special
stairs.
prayers for Mike Garvin's Achilles wound.
Cut him right through his designer sock.
All right. Any other special prayers? Okay. Our Mother,
Our mother,
who groweth
who groweth
the most special green
the most special green
up there in the Ojambasphere,
under
under the influence of the domestic that they trim up there.
of the domestic that they trim up.
Oh, mellow is that herb.
Oh, mellow is that herb.
Oh, high and holy is the great dumpster mother.
Oh,
Holy is the great dumpster mother.
Officer friendly.
Officer friendly.
Please forgive me
You better
for feeding your dog a steak.
for feeding your dog a steak.
And that is why he is barking profusely.
That is why he is barking profusely.
Because he loves me.
Because he loves you.
There is nothing in the car.
There is nothing in the car.
And if she finds anything suspicious,
And if you find anything suspicious,
we have no idea how it got there.
we have no idea how we got there.
Jesus must have put it there.
Jesus must have put it.
And I will testify to this in a court of law.
And I will testify to this in the court of law.
I will be adjudicated,
I will be adjudicated,
vindicated,
vindicated,
and Baker acted,
and vindicated,
which will give me access to more drugs.
which will make way more access to God.
Marijuana can be sales taxed,
Marijuana can be sales tax.
but lawyers cannot because they are a service.
Lawyers cannot because they are a service.
For thine is the cow pie, the rain, and the shrimp. Amen.
Amen.
A woman,
A woman,
a 30 grams,
a 30 grams,
a joint.
a joint.
God is blessed. Hallelujah.
The Reverend Angel Dust, ladies and gentlemen. The Reverend Angel Dust in an extraordinary sermon. Give him a round of applause. Marijuana in Canada is legal. How can you legalize marijuana in Canada today? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to go back and get this plate that I have all the names on. Thank you. Coming up next, new to the Tabernacle of Hedonism, traveler, world traveler, just passing through, little bit of busking, a lot of talent. Please welcome to the stage, Ryan. Ryan, are you ready? Ryan, everybody. I can put you into this little hand. I can work and I can also mic you. Yeah.
That's part of it.
Go with the mic. See how I mean the More trouble. Is that right? Now, you want anything on your voice? Like a little extra?
No.
Just straight up. Okay. All right, everybody.
Give me that baby. What you gonna do? Give me that baby. What about you? Give me that baby. What you gonna do? Give me that baby. What about you? Like my friends. That's so sick. They make me wanna play. Give me that baby. What you gonna do? Give me that baby. What about you? Give me that baby. What you gonna do? They make me wanna play. Give me the baby. Die. Give me the baby. Die. Give me the baby. Die. TNT flag, free thoughts.
That was awesome. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible.
I enjoyed this. So good. It's so good. That's like my favorite performer of the year. How about a round of applause, Ryan, everybody? It's always great to have a surprise coming in from out of town. My favorite lyric, I eat trash and I eat ass. That's fucking true for everybody. Two of the major food groups, right? Trash and ass. Fucking amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our political correspondent. He's become quite a celebrity now that he's a famous writer. The one, the only, John Wasser, a.k.a. Wahoo, the Tabernacle political correspondent.
Okay, I offered to do a presentation on starting a teach church business at the High Springs Library, and the librarian was thrilled. And I'm doing a reading from one of my books. I think it's January 19th, 2019 at the main library here in town. I've opened a second t-shirt store, this one on Merch by Amazon, under the name C-Pub Tees. It's much nicer than the Shopify store, but they only let me upload one shirt per day. So right now there are 5 shirts available and 2 in review. Actually, there's 7 of them available now, and about 10 uploaded as drafts, so I can publish them on my cell phone from home. And I am flat broke tonight. Alan bought me my first beer. I need to find somebody willing to buy me one more, or I go thirsty. Thanks to Michael and Robbie for providing plenty of food tonight.
Yeah, that's right. A tribute to your church.
WhatTheFuckJustHappenedToday.com says that a federal judge rejected Paul Manafort's request to wear a suit to his sentencing hearing because the former Trump campaign chairman is now a convicted felon who has lost the right to wear street clothing in all his court proceedings. Yeah. What a way to make a dude feel shit on. Trump, 45, will withdraw from a 144-year-old postal treaty that allowed Chinese companies to ship small packages to the U.S. at a discounted rate. The White House claimed the treaty gives countries like China and Singapore an unfair advantage by flooding U.S. markets with cheaper e-commerce packages. On Monday, the Treasury Department reported a $779 billion budget deficit for fiscal year 2018, a 6-year high and a 17% jump from the prior period. Trump claims that he has a natural instinct for science when it comes to climate change. Trump's scientific description of climate change was that it goes back and forth, back and forth.
It's cyclical.
Here's a long Vietnam War number by Phil Oakes. Sailing over to Vietnam, Southeast Asian Birmingham. Well, training is the word we use. Nice word to have in case we lose. Training 1 million Vietnamese to fight for the wrong government and the American way. Well, they put me in a barracks house just across the way from Laos. They said, you're pretty safe when the troops deploy, but don't turn your back on your houseboy. When they ring the gong, watch out for the Viet Cong. Well, the sergeant said it's time to train, so I climbed aboard my helicopter plane, We flew above the battleground. The sniper tried to shoot us down. We're only 10 commies never fight fair. The very next day, we trained some more. We burned some villages down to the floor. Yes, we burned out the jungles far and wide. Made sure those red apes had no place left to hide. Threw all the people in relocation camps under lock and key. Made damn sure they're free. Just like those babies from the border. I walked through the jungle and heard around the bend, and who should I meet but President DM. Said, you're fighting to keep Vietnam free for good old democracy. That means rule by one family and 15,000 American troops, give or take a few thousand American troops. He said, I was the final Christian man ruling this backward Buddhist land. Well, it ain't much, but what the heck? It sure beats hell out of Chiang Kai-shek. I'm the power elite, me and the 7th Fleet. He said, meet my sister, Madame Nu, the sweetheart of the MBM food. He said, meet my brothers, meet my aunts. We're the government that doesn't take a chance. Families that slay together, stay together. He said, if you want to stay, you'll have to pay over $1 million a day, but it's worth it all, don't you see? If you lose the country, you'll still have me and Sigmund Reed, Chiang Kai-shek, Madame Nu. Like I said on Meet the Press, I regret that I have but one country to give for my life. Well, now old DN is gone and dead, and the new leaders are anti-red. Yes, they're pro-American, freedom sensations, against Red China, the United Nations. Now all the news commentators and the CIA are saying, thank God for coincidence. And here's an old Brenda Lee tune. All alone am I, ever since your goodbye. All alone with just the beat of my heart. People all around, but I don't hear a sound. Just the lonely beating of my heart. No use in holding other hands, for I'd be holding only emptiness. No use in kissing other lips, for I'd be thinking just of your caress. All alone am I, ever since your goodbye. All alone with just the beat of my heart. People all around, but I don't hear a sound, just the lonely beating of my heart. No other voice can say the words my heart must hear to ever sing again. The words you used to whisper low, no other love can ever bring again. All alone am I, ever since your goodbye. All alone, with just the beat of my heart. People all around, but I don't hear a sound, just a lonely beating of my heart.
Come on, give them a round of applause. Let me clarify for some of you who may have just walked in. You are live in downtown Gainesville, Florida, home of the Fighting Gators and the Brain Institute, at the Hardback Cafe. That's right. The Reverend Angel Dust's Tabernacle of Hedonism, the host for Downtown Edition, is happening now, live on stage in Gainesville and in parts of New Jersey and Canada. Tonight's theme is Canadian Marijuana Day. Marijuana is legal in Canada. Are you Canadian?
I know every Canadian
Ever?
from Toronto. They're all in Nashville. We can take Canada now.
Nashville Canadians are on the rampage, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. We can do this. We can infiltrate from Canada through Nashville, across the border into Texas, and win the United States of America for cannabis. Marijuana for President 2020. We can do this. We can all do it together. Thank you. Welcome. I will have you up. Absolutely. How about it for our friend, ladies and gentlemen? Give her a round of applause. She stumbled upon it and realized she had come home. Thank you for being here. You are home.
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, and this is not a setup for a joke, for which the Tabernacle of Hedonism's most famous punist will come up here. I'm not saying that's what this is. But what the hell's going on with that eraser head baby?
But Tom, they're not even sure if it is a baby.
So,
I got that. That's great. How about a round of applause? That's good shit right there.
I saw it on the big screen.
Just for me, baby.
I know,
Just for
Tom.
me.
You and me, we got it.
We got more blue velvet in it.
Oh, love it. Love it. There's the song to sing. So, a climate denier goes into a bar, and the bartender says, "What do you have?" And the bartender says, "Well, 99% of the people in here are having a beer." And the climate denier says, "I want to drink what the other 3% are having."
Yeah! Amazing! Yeah! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. More punny jokes coming up. He's with us all night. That was a good one. What was everybody else having, though? Nothing?
Beer, sorry.
They were having beer, too?
I don't know. 99% were having beer. We wonder what the other 3% were having.
That's what I'm wondering. What were they having? Ignorance? A glass of ignorance? Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce our next musical guest, we have to bring up a standard classic Tabernacle of Hedonism world-class human being. All right? At the Tabernacle of Hedonism, as many of you know, you'll be right after this. Yes. And then we'll bring it to you now. Just walk in. I got you on the list. Good. Hang out. Let's.
My phone's about to die.
Holy shit, what are you drinking? Water? What kind of charger you got? Let's charge this phone up! Let's get this phone charged. What do we got here? We're high tech. We're high tech here, man. It's Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, a full-fledged, high-level member of the Tabernacle of Hedonism is here with us. We're very lucky to have him. He's not here every night, even though he is. And ladies and gentlemen, he designs the look of the tabernacle, the feel of the tabernacle, everything that you see around you in reality, he has created this evening for you. I'm talking about this painting, even though Michelle painted it. I'm talking about the things on that television. I'm talking about the lighting system, the grid upstairs. See the grid? The grid right there? Wasn't even here last week. It's here now. I'm telling you, this guy makes designs in your mind. Please welcome to the stage the Minister of the Interior of the Tabernacle of Hedonism, one of our official deacons in a rare, never before seen presentation. Please welcome to the stage the one and only Michael Garvin, the best dressed of the deacons. Michael Garvin. Now I have to ask this because this is part of the bit. Michael Garvin, you can join me. What are you wearing?
Thanks, everybody. Good to be here again. Everything's looking, I like how you're taking care of my handiwork here.
Yeah, good.
Alan, good work with the duster. Second toilet needs a little bit of, hee-ho in the plunging, but, that's fine.
Just needs a robot.
Actually, I'm just kidding, Alan. All the toilets are in perfect working order. Robot would be nice. Anyway, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing Portuguese leather shoes. I'm wearing socks which have been bloodied by an accident.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Heal the Achilles wound.
Well, Reverend will help me out. Irish linen pants, Madras shirt.
Oh, nice.
From India.
Ooh.
Passed through a dead man, secondhand.
You mean you ate it and shit it?
Possibly. That would be a third passage point, but it presumably belonged to someone who who was
I bet he didn't have any strippers at his funeral.
Next week, the thing
Next
is,
week.
I have nothing to say about that.
Wait, what's it Portuguese?
No, it's Taiwan.
It doesn't matter. We'll be here next week. All right, what else?
Target jacket.
Yeah.
25-cent Target jacket. $1 linen Steinmart hanky.
Oh, great.
Does it have a cum on it?
What's that?
Does it have sperm on it?
Not on this one.
Thank you, Tabernacle Choir. Thank you for that comment.
I'll be sure to bring one.
Hey, just so you know, there's no sperm on it. Okay, great. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I believe that's it, Tom.
Okay, great. Michael Garvin, everybody. Yes. Right on. I fucking love her. Will you come every week? I have to tell you, Michael Garvin's hair is higher than it's ever been, and I would just like to talk to the hair for a minute. What are you smoking? Are you smoking Canadian weed? Okay. It sounded like she said yes. It sounded like she said yes. Your hair is a she.
By the way, we just want to establish that my hair is is also gender binary. It's a she. So henceforth, my hair will be referred to as she.
Yes. Or Ms. Hair, as we like to say. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I drop in another quick joke?
If our punnist has a joke, it needs to come when it needs to come.
Politically incorrect.
When it needs to come, it needs to come.
Well, speaking of needing to come. All right, all you snowflakes with the triggers out. These are politically incorrect. Okay?
Yes. Yes. Snowflake triggers out of here.
Out. Damn the snowflakes with political triggers.
You ain't no snowflake. You're an Indian.
So why does it take so many millions of sperm to fertilize that one gigantic egg?
Why?
They refuse to stop and ask for directions.
Amen.
Later.
That was good.
Later. Wait, I have another one.
Okay, you have a chance. Okay. Please.
You know why women get PMS? They just do, okay?
Fucking amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Oh.
That is so good. That's what this show is all about. Everything that just happened. And now, ladies and gentlemen, where were we? Oh, your hair is high. Is she okay? Yes, I'm fine. You're just smoking weed. Okay, great. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin does yet another thing. Can you excuse me? I have an itch.
Is this a show?
Ew.
Oh, God, that's better.
It's a perfect back scratch.
Smells like brie. Okay, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a thing here with Michael Garvin I'd like to do. And Michael, I stole that joke from George O'Brien. I just want to confess that is a George O'Brien joke.
Recycle.
The mic smells like brie, George O'Brien joke. Okay. And now, but it really doesn't.
What a back scratch joke.
Ooh, stop it.
very itchy. I
Now
think
it smells like a sebaceous cyst.
Thank you, Michael. That's a new place to take it. I didn't even sebaceous cyst, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Garvin, sebaceous cyst back scratch SM58 joke. And now let's move along with our program. Michael does another amazing thing, and he does this with his big mind. Not his little mind, his big mind. And his big mind, well, you never know. They take over each other depending on blood flow and excitement, level of excitement. We're just men, we suck. And now, wait, what am I saying? Wait, never mind. Now we're layers deep into this. Hang on, let me just take the dick out of my mouth and move along with this production. So what we're talking about, here, Michael, hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine too. So what we're talking about here, Michael, is your amazing big brain. And Michael's big brain up there does an amazing thing. What you do is you pick a topic, and Michael will wax poetic on it, all over it. And so, anyone, topic? Do we have a topic? Anyone, topic?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin on Taco Bell.
Taco, oh God, Tom, this is... Oh, by the way, for the record, I went to high school with a kid named Sebaceous Cyst. Taco Bell.
Mike, are you familiar?
Taco Bell.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with Mexico.
Nothing to do with Mexico.
Nothing to do with Mexico. Taco Bell, Gainesville, Mexico.
I'll play that song.
Into the distance, no, into the sunset you'll ride.
Right.
Tom's great contribution to Taco Bell lore. Next question.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Michael
Garvin on Taco Bell. He didn't offer a lot, but Michael, if you'll allow me to help. Taco Bell.
Came straight from hell.
We have a guy that worked at Taco Bell arrive at the show in his Taco Bell outfit. No, some people have done that in Taco Bell. I've read about it. I'm trying to be very specific here.
Probably in a taco.
Yes, no, in a taco.
Absolutely.
And not because they thought it was a funny prank to play, because they really were into the taco. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ruin your night. But this is a fact. So we had a Taco Bell guy who used to work at Taco Bell, who was an ex-Taco Bell person, and he wore his Taco Bell outfit, and he would come to my show 30 years ago when we were doing this show still. Yes, I know, right? Jesus. And he would come on stage and he would arrive on stage and he would tell us secrets, behind the stage secrets at Taco Bell. Now, this may not be true now, but some 25, 30 years ago, Taco Bell's meat that they used, he said, the box said that it was grade D, and then the words on the box were, but edible. Like there was a grade D that wasn't and a grade D that was. And there was just and that is a true story, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to rain on your parade because Michael's the star, but that is a true Taco Bell story. Any other subjects? What do you got? Come on. Something in history, Mesopotamia. I don't know where that came from. Something, yarn, the history of yarn.
David and Bathsheba.
What happened? What? Ooh, good. Yes, what was it?
David and Bathsheba.
Michael Garvin.
Okay, David was the king of Judea, second king of Judea, technically the third. And he sent a man named Uriah the Hittite into the first line of battle because he coveted his wife Bathsheba. Anyway, God punished him, but he did have Solomon for this one.
Good job.
Next question, anyone?
Good job.
Thank you.
That was my setup.
That was your setup.
Homer and the Iliad.
Homer and the Iliad. Homer.
Yeah.
The name's Greek for hostage, Homeros. And he's allegedly blind, and he may not have existed.
Really?
He actually wrote a lot of other things, and then the Iliad and the Odyssey that just don't exist anymore.
Why? What happened to him?
What happened to them or what happened to him?
Both.
What happened to him, we don't know. What happened to those, we don't know either.
The library burned down.
All right, can I get one more before we close? Apparently our one performer had to dip. I guess I waited too long, so I apologize to our performer. We'll catch you next week. Eddie, I think can't make it.
Bam. Yeah. I'm filling in for Eddie. He's
Sorry.
Neither will
That's right. I got you in there.
No,
I
it
got
worked
you in there.
out. It worked out. He called me out of time.
Oh, Eddie hooked it up. You're switching with Eddie.
Okay, sorry.
We might be able to pull that up. Anyone? Yes. Spam?
Spam.
Did somebody say spam? Who said spam? You said spam?
Patrick.
Ladies, Pat, hey, nice work. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're really a participant in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin will close with his thoughts on spam.
Spam, about 10, 12 years ago, was banned in several South Pacific nations, at least 2 or 3, because the old folks would report that it tastes too much like human flesh, and they didn't want the nation to slide back into cannibalism. That's true.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is true. I'm not making it up. I'm not making up. You can go right to the consulate of Tuvalu and ask them.
So there you have it.
Talk to the Prime Minister of Vanuatu and the King of Samoa. Reputable people, and they'll tell you. Thank you, everybody.
And you're telling me that can be looked up on the internet, that they discouraged spam because it tasted like people? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling a moment from our resident punist, because they ate them. Ladies and gentlemen, our official Tabernacle punist has feeling a moment.
I'm feeling a moment about spam. I just had to share with you all, this is a real wedding announcement from the Oklahoma Daily. The parents of Liz and Wilson Wainwright are proud to pronounce the wedding of their daughter, Alyssa Wainwright, unfairly snubbed gymnast from the 2008 Olympic trials, winner of the gold medal in balance beam and uneven parallel bar at Oklahoma State Championship, member of the NCAA silver medal winning gymnastics team at Oklahoma State, where she was on full athletic scholarship after graduating, while simultaneously graduating from Libertyville Gymnastics Academy as a gold medal winner in 3 or 4 disciplines. Her groom, Luis Camacho, is 6 foot, 189-pound quarterback with a 4.240. She works as the director of the Spam Museum.
Amazing.
Yes, it's true. True wedding announcement.
Wow.
Back to Tom. Where's
This show,
There he is.
yes, this show just doesn't entertain you. It educates you, it illuminates you, it sets you on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of setting the place on fire, how about this one of the most electrifying musical performers we've ever had at the Tabernacle this evening, even though we haven't had it yet. I'm just predicting it's going to be amazing. Please welcome to the stage the incomparable stylings of the one and only Tapeworm. A round of applause.
Can we go in there? Because if you want it to be a big one, it gets ugly. And you sound like you want it, but make sure your voice is, you gotta hear what you're saying. But, you know what you're doing.
Next time.
I think you're the guitar a little bit.
Check.
And little voice.
Check.
Can I raise this?
Peter Pepper Pickle. Porta Potty Pickles.
Porta potty?
Purple Porta Potty Pickles.
Okay.
Check.
All right.
That's it. How do you like that for a mic check?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cool, perfect.
hang on. I want to just put a mic in front of the guitar anyway. Just a little added bonus, okay?
All right.
All right, stand by. We're just getting this all the way it needs to be.
I'm gonna start playing this one every week.
Hey.
Legalize it.
Take word. Take word.
I wish I knew that whole song. Anyway, so the theme is Canadian marijuana because they legalized it, and really we have Canadian marijuana to thank for a lot of great Canadian bands like DOA, Submission Hold. I'm pretty sure Triumph blazed it. I'm not sure, but like No Means No, that band, you know they smoke. Anyway, I'm gonna start off. I hate to do this, but this is a serious song. 48 years ago, it will be on Friday when Mark Essex went AWOL. He had an idea in his head. 2 years after that, in 1972, on New Year's Eve, 1972 into 1973, he attacked the police station. This is a story about Mark Essex. The song is a lot harder than it looks and sounds. See? Alright, I'll get it this time. Mark Essex' hometown was in Kansas, just west of John Brown's log cabin. A high school band, he played the saxophone and did well in mechanics. He seemed to have just one day snap. Slow transition. I'm gonna have to start over. All right, hold on. Mark Essex' hometown was in Kansas, just west of John Brown's log cabin. A high school band, he played the saxophone and did well in mechanics. This is terrible. I don't even think I'm singing the right note. Can you bear with me real quick?
Yes.
All right, I want to rewind this because I want to.
Take word. This is what we're doing.
Part of the show.
Very good.
All right.
It's a show.
It's just a show.
My apologies.
That's right. Justin Trudeau, she's
Take
got
two.
your back.
Mark Essex' hometown was in Kansas, just west of John Brown's log cabin. A high school band, he played the saxophone and he did well in mechanics. He seemed to have just one day snap. Close friends noticed a slow transition. Neighbors failed to pacify his hateful anger and his desire to spark a ripple. Mark took up target practice, a desire for the masses who would fight the police fascists. I'm just gonna skip this song because it's not worth it.
That's awesome. What's he doing?
I was so mesmerized,
It's a
man.
show. It's tapeworm. He's doing
That
his tape.
was really good.
It was crazy.
Well, I'll try it one more time. But I keep slipping on this first lick.
No.
One more time. Let's go. You got it. You can go.
Mark Essex' hometown was in Kansas, just west of John Brown's log cabin. A high school band, he played the saxophone, did well in mechanics. He seemed to have just one day snap. In reality, it happened gradually. Trouble began when he joined the Navy to avoid being drafted. Arrived at boot camp and passed it, despite the racist harassment. Aside from learning the backwards standards soon after Mark had it. With his nonsense, he went at it without leave. Understandably, he moved to New Orleans only to find a similar atmosphere of fear, oppression, and everyday police brutality. Blacks living in shanties beside whites living in mansions. Same as like on slave plantations. Different circumstances. He seemed to have just one day snap. Close friends noticed a slow transition. The pastor fails to pacify his hateful anger and his one desire to spark a revolt. Mark takes up target practice. A messiah for the masses who would fight the police fascists. His cross was a rifle and a magnum semi-automatic, willing to die revolutionary suicide. True fanatic. It was New Year's Eve. He crashed the party. Surprise Mark attacked the police station. Cops run forensic. One fatality. Mark managed to quick advantage as if by magic. Code Red broadcast did static. And another cop was ambushed. They intensified the manhunt, which became such a catastrophe they had to call the National Guard. No match for the Phantom. As hard as they tried to catch him. Well, Mark hid inside the Baptist church and plans to kill the captain. It was known that he cut his hand when Joe the grocer saw his band. He got suspicious and called the cops. Somehow Mark found this out. Went back for some payback. His gun went pop. He killed the rat. That was that. Then as Mark ran from the scene, that's when he saw Marvin and carjacked him. Rolling down Loyola Avenue, driven to drastic actions. Howard Johnson Motor Lodge would be where he makes his final stand. The tower gave him the advantage. Now for hatred and for madness, loudly shouting out free Africa, bound to proudly die tragically. Sirens wailing, flashing violence, mayhem, chaos, panic, fires blazing, gunshots blasting. Completely manic, search and rescue truck pulled up to scales up the ladder. Almost to the balcony, gunshot, Tim's arm was shattered. Blood came down like rain, the ashes like snow, terror like a dagger. In the end, he filled Tim's casket with a spade of fear established. When they finally got a clear shot, they filled him up like a hot lead basket. And his cop shoot cop, they thought they saw more snipers all day long. This lasted. Woo! Thanks. I really missed y'all last week. I mean, I was misled by the weatherman that said the hurricane was coming. And it's like Colin said, when a hurricane comes to Florida, the weather just gets nicer and Gainesville. But I mean, I was expecting like Hurricane Michael Myers, and we got Hurricane Michael Bolton.
There's a quote for a t-shirt. Get on that washer.
I would have settled for Michael Hudson or something. That would be good. I was expecting flying cows and stuff, but and then I was like, oh, it's going to rain. It's at least going to rain. And they were, no, it didn't even rain. I'm like, I could have totally went. Probably had the wind blowing my way the whole way back too on my bicycle. But here we go. So, all right, moving on. This one, oh God. All right, this is about a Florida serial killer who's related to another Florida serial killer. This song's about Bobby Joe Long from Tampa Bay, Florida. His birthday, he would have turned 65, or maybe he did turn 65. I don't know if he's still alive. Sunday. So he's getting
Happy birthday.
The new lyrics on an old riff. Fell from the swing when he was 5 and silent, was steered on a stick. He lost some teeth when he was hit by a parked car when he was 6. Fell unconscious in his rubel. And as he grows, the worse it gets. The 7 false face first and shit. The genetics made him grow tits. He was teased by the other kids. He tortured cats to deal with this. A cousin of Henry Lee Lucas. Was it destiny or coincidence that 18 Bobby is convinced to join the army he enlisted? After his discharge, he studied to be a radiologist. The sadistic misogynist, the facade which was his wife and kid. An unquenchable thirst for power and a lust for violence. Successful X-ray technician, obsessed with sex. His intentions were questionable. Pure ass patient. He flirts with a nurse. He got dismissed with too much free time. He became a classified cat rapist, stealing rings and necklaces to give to his girlfriend as gifts. Artist quit went out for cigarettes. That March day she visited. Cousin of Henry Lee Lucas. Was it destiny or coincidence? His next murder was on May 10th with Lane along the relation. Hitchhiking, he gave her a lift. Now she never trusts anyone ever again. Sadistic misogynist, the facade which was his wife and kid. An unquestionable power and lust and violence. Michelle, since cocaine habit brought her to the red light district, a lifestyle in the highest grip for Bobby Joe. She was easy picking the tire track, the fibers from his car matching the previous deadly disturbing incident. The FBI enters the picture with incompetence. Go figure 6 more died is what it is or what it's worth. The evidence more than enough. He confesses there's many ways to play the system at the taxpayer expense. Another trial, another appeal, another overturned sentence. The sadistic misogynist, the facade which was his wife and kid. Unquenchable thirst for power and a lust for violence. I butchered it, but it's like the second time I played those lyrics on that riff.
You butchered the serial killer song? Awesome.
Yeah.
Good work. Yeah, good shit.
Pun intended. All right, so now how many people did Facebook go down on?
All of them.
God, spam.
Yeah.
Well,
YouTube went down on everybody too.
I knew I should have got a Facebook. I never had it. Somebody had it ghosted Facebook for me, but I knew there was something good about Facebook. Anyway, I want to thank my partner for sitting on my Facebook. All right, I got one more.
I get it.
I got one more. This is about 87 years ago yesterday. From Phoenix, Arizona, a woman named Winnie Ruth Judd got on a train with two boxes. One of them was really big and heavy and started leaking blood. And by the time she got to California, they wanted to know what the fuck was up because it was not normal. They thought she had some deer meat, which was illegally poached. But so this is it's called. Okay, well, no, I thought of another a name for the song because it was Bizarre Love Hexagon that made this all happen. But really, this song is called Fallen Phoenix. Yeah. All right, here we go. It was Fallen Phoenix, Arizona, 1931. Such heavy luggage, Winnie Judd would want help to carry 300 pounds. It was the stress of what was in the trunk felt like a ton. At the train station, helped look more about the porter, John Washington. He noticed the figure of the new trunk seemed to be leaking something. He noticed she looked uncomfortable and she acted a bit funny. As the train rolled off, we wondered if the floor was a bit bloody. California, the destination. 5 minutes smelled like trouble. Flying began to circle and it drifted to a crimson puddle. The bag of pigeons said she must have locked it. Through her she fumbled, easy injury, greasy walking, and began to run. The cop that popped the lock was gunned. Almost 2 bodies and a gun. Where exactly things went wrong in Leroy? Miss Bill Sue and good friends of Winnie Judd back in the valley of the sun. A man named Jack owned a lumber yard and made a lot of money. Matrimonial misconduct, both married but not to each other. In the scandal, what made public, he'd lose customers. What would his wife say if he was busted? He'd do anything. He cuts her limbs off as if she was a tree. Stacks her meat inside the trunk and a twisted crammed stuff. Jack said, good luck, Winnie Ruth Judd. Keep your mouth shut. We get time for one more?
Yeah,
Real quick, because Paul Stein, the taxi driver, was murdered by the Zodiac 49 years ago. I can't remember the date, but this is about Zodiac. And it's like either like the other day or the day after tomorrow or something. Sherry Bates' car wouldn't start. The distributor wire had been pulled after dark. He offered to ride her. Trust was earned with lies he told her. Time to die, there was not a soul around. He was sure he could control her. She fought back. He grabbed a hold and stabbed her. The next found on Halloween morning there, like the crime scene was cold. The footprint there fit a shoe, only military outlets sold. On Holy Night in 68, less than a week before Christmas Day. Betty Lou Jensen, David Faraday, both found slain on Lake Road in Vallejo. Someone said he drove a Chevrolet. Carlene was a DOA, her boyfriend lived but couldn't say what. He couldn't find the perpetrator, blinded by the flashlight ray. Clues the cops pursued too late, including letters to newspapers taunting them as new mistakes were made. They led themselves astray, like the night a taxi driver named Paul Stein life was taken away. He fooled the cops again and he escaped, even though he and the cops spoke face to face. He may have even said thanks, there was no chase. He walked off to his hiding place, a nearby military base. His letters would never be traced. He's still at large, he'd be about 80 now, so watch out just in case. There it is. All right, thanks for listening.
amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Tapeworm. You've got to pray my Halloween show, man. got to. Are you free on Halloween?
Oh man, I want to put it in any show I can.
Oh, come down.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, the Tabernacle of Hedonism, the longest running open mic variety show live in the history of the United States of America, and that's actually true, will be, well, our show falls on Halloween, so it's Wednesday is actually Halloween. So if you could come by, because I know you got like a bit of a thing going with some serial killers and cool freaky shit, and you did mention Halloween, you'd be the perfect person to come. And we'll make sure we take care of you after the show. You'll be fine. We'll give you a ride home, and nothing will come off of your body.
I live pretty far away, but
That's okay. We'll get you home. Anyway, this microphone is conspicuously placed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe that all of you haven't left yet because, we're hoping that everybody leaves except for the very few people who dare cross the line with the Tabernacle of Hedonism and move into the midnight hour. Now it seems to be 10 after midnight. We have a special guest who just showed up. I have no idea what she does. I can't wait to find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I can get my plate, please welcome to the stage for whatever is happening now, the one, the only, Jana.
Theme for the night. Theme for the night. Tell me the night.
Yes. What do you need?
What's the theme for the
Oh,
night?
the theme for the night is Canadian marijuana legalization. What's the official theme?
Canadian marijuana legalization day.
Just like I said.
Who's watching me right now?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
All right.
Everybody is in Jersey.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
This is a church house.
Yes, that's right.
Let me share a special from the choir, straight from Nashville.
Right on.
And then I'll get some more. Once I find it. Excuse me. Bear with me, I don't know the words. Here we go. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played that pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffling king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throat and then cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 I'm gonna stop right there. Woo! Now that I got the hook. Canadian marijuana.
Yeah.
Now, all of Canada is currently in Nashville, Tennessee. If we want Canadian marijuana, all we have to do is get a ticket.
Right on.
They currently will be there for one more week. Let me inform you. I was with them last night. Why do we need Canadian marijuana? You ask. Why did I think about David? Why did I ask you about David? Why do we need marijuana? Can I share?
Yes, share. Just take that off the stand and go to town.
You ready?
Right on.
All right, somebody's got to tell me what's up.
Right?
Why do we need marijuana to cover up our fucked up heads?
Why do we need to smoke marijuana? To cover up what's fucked up. Why did I sing about David? Why am I talking about Bathsheba? Why are you talking about climate change? Why are you doing a parody when you're wearing a Donald Trump shirt and you're talking about Vietnam?
Right on.
As far as I know, Donald Trump was not in Vietnam.
He certainly was not.
He certainly was not. Why do we blame a rich white man for a poor white man's problem?
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Just asking. I love it. It's free speech. I love it. So here we go. This is why we need Canadian marijuana. Because the rich white man for years has failed to do his patriotic duty. His patriotic duty, not only as a patriotic American or whatever we want to call him, his patriotic as a patriarch of our country. Men failing to be fucking men is the reason why our children need fucking marijuana from Canada. Why do we need it from Canada? Because we're so messed up because big pharmaceutical would like for you to think that, oh, I'm sorry, I would have a sidetrack. Morgan & Morgan would like you to think that they're fighting for you and for your people. And they have given everything they can for the people. They fuck the people. What they do is they go lobby and lobby and lobby and lobby and lobby to get medicinal marijuana for all of us. Give them a hand.
Oh yeah, no, we're with you.
Thank you, Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan.
Fuck you, Morgan & Morgan, because John Morgan holds every one of the licenses just about on medicinal marijuana.
Son of a bitch, fuck you.
Right. So I'm pissed off at another rich white man
rich white motherfucker.
because he gave me what I wanted.
Right, I can't stand it.
Damn him.
I'm not
How
sorry.
dare the rich white man provide something that the poor white man needs?
No, the poor white man came with the marijuana.
Right.
That's what I think.
No.
I could be wrong.
So it's all cyclical.
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 It's on and it's off. Like,
No, it's not on. It's cyclical.
it's on like a.
It's all like Donkey Kong. So another rich white man provides for the poor man what we want, and we want to crucify.
Yes.
Thank you. Crucify.
Right on.
Right on. So, yes, it's a cycle. Let me say again, why did I mention David? Why did I mention Bathsheba? Another example of a rich white man, he was tan. A rich man providing for the poor man. What did he provide for Uriah? Death. Oh, that he brought him home. He provided a nice pillow, a nice bed for him to lay in. Why? Because he needed Uriah to sleep with his beautiful wife Bathsheba. Why?
Why?
Because another rich white man didn't do his job.
Yes. Michael, you will get a rebuttal, but this is good.
Good job, Michael. Where should King David, as the patriarch of Judah, been? Michael. Where should he have been? Think, people.
Well, he should have been leading the army.
Thank you. Another rich white man, not so white, so tan, should have been doing his fucking job and leading an army. Instead, he was back home checking out the hot chick of the good man who was out laying him on his life. It's cyclical. The same thing happens over and over again. Thousands of years later, the same things happen over and over again. Am I correct?
Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
So again, that rich man provided for Uriah something he needed, right? No, he provided him death. Death. Why do we need today from Canada? Because they got something going on. Shit, I don't know. All I know is this. I thought the Canadians hated us. I don't know why. Like, everybody ever knew that went to Canada, went to Toronto, like they're all snobby bitches and all this, no one talks to us.
Canadians love us.
They're amazing. I partied with them in Nashville last 4 days.
Look at the queen. Look at her. She's fucking in love. This is love personified.
Who is this shit?
That's the Queen of Canada.
They have queens there?
Yes, and her golden cap.
All I'm going to say
say is I don't know what you believe about destiny, and I will get off your stage. But I tell you, there is a certain reason. Everyone who sees me, that knows me all over the world, when they see me, they have a story. The question is,
All over the world,
all over the world,
and in Jersey.
And you will see this. The one question that everyone in the room asks as a whole, and it is my segment, is, but how did you get here?
Right.
How did I get here? I tell you, it was my destiny.
Uber.
It was Uber, not a ride. All right? This beautiful woman, her people are amazing. I spent 4 days with them in Nashville this week. I'm going to tell you what, Canadians are fucking awesome people. I love them. Hey, you know what? You smoke all the marijuana you want.
Yes.
Never smoked a doobie in my life. You want to get high after the show, let me know.
I'll hook you up.
You'll hook me up.
Sure.
Viva Canada.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, you're the singer.
How about for Jana, everybody? Give her a round of applause. Just walked in here and basically summed up the whole point of us being here. Canada. She's a singer, musician. She's going to take off and find her hubby. Come back anytime, every Wednesday night, right? Hardback Cafe on Tom Miller.
I'll be in New Orleans next week.
All right, we'll see. Spread the word of Jamba. Spread the word of Jamba, the great dumpster goddess in New Orleans. We send good tidings with you. Safe travels. We love you. Thank you for being a part of the Tabernacle tonight. Go Gators for sure. Right on. Thank you. Round of applause, everybody. You know, you don't get that every week.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
What exactly was your piece about?
What was her piece about?
Yeah.
Canadians are great, and the Canadian Queen, Justin Trudeau, is fantastic.
Rich white men.
Well, that wasn't made clear by her speech. I think they do. No, I don't know if they suck, because apparently at points they were really fucking up, and then at other points they were leading the charge. So I don't know what her piece was about. I don't know what anything that she did was about. But that's what we do here, and I think we do it right. Thank you. Thank you, New Jersey. So, ladies and gentlemen, luckily for you, 2 or 3 of our regular performers just, pussied out and gone. So that's great news for us, because that means that we don't have to endure this for too much longer. However, there are a couple things we need to do, and if you'll excuse me, I'm going to turn off the cheesy 70s jazz music.
Oh, thank God.
I'm just going to stuff this plate into my pants. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to continue the show now with no white male privilege at all. I didn't know I could do this. Oh my God, that's so awesome. If only we had a mic available for that.
This is complete white.
This is so wrong. It's so wrong. Everything is wrong about it. Wait, is the mic on? Is the mic even on?
No, that's the brilliant.
You know what? If the mic is on, which it is, and turned up, that means that my penis is very small and quiet. As a white male, I embrace that. I'm one of the good guys, as you can tell. One of the good ones. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll allow me, because I'd like to continue this move, because I feel like I've started it and I'd like to continue it. What, you're leaving? I'm going to go ahead and push this plate down through my left leg hole and send it out through my foot. I might pull it out through my knee. Apparently, I have an area there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look. Oh, there's the hole.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was going to go all the way down to the bottom of the leg, but the reason I went to the knee is because I went to the, is it still the Oaks Mall? What is that place? I went to the Oaks Mall recently to sell these pants. No, that's not true. That's
The
a lie.
mall is buying pants.
Hang on, some of my dick is still in here. I went to the I went to the Oaks Mall because these were the only pants I had. And what I saw at the Oaks Mall was a pair of pants hanging brand new that looked exactly like these. Like the knees were torn out, except they were worse. Like there were cuts all through the leg. And they were charging $100. And I'm like, but these are shitty. I went to go buy some jeans. I couldn't even afford jeans that were way worse than mine. And apparently those are in fashion now. And so what I decided to do was I went home, I got my jeans that I was going to sell because they were cheap and shitty. I put them on, and it turns out that they're really expensive and fantastic. And that's what I tried to illustrate with my white penis just there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm richer now than I was, just because I went there. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Michael, I promised you a rebuttal. Would you like to rebut any of what whatever that was, what she said?
I understood what she was saying.
No, we didn't understand what she said, so you have nothing to rebut.
I don't have a rebuttal because I don't.
Okay. Michael does not have a rebuttal.
Oh my.
Thank you. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, we only have one performer left. Well, it's the Tabernacle Choir. The Tabernacle Choir, they're all here tonight. We're lucky to have them all. They always close out the show. And the reason that we put them at the end of the show is because they're representing the Canadian-American Indian. We would never put them at the front of the show. What we do is we trample on their ability to perform until the end, and then they get the last word. Isn't that awful?
Yes.
No, it isn't, because we give them the last word. America doesn't do that. So the church is better than America. You know how much I love you? That's right.
That was gross, dude.
And that's how much I love them, all of them. The Tabernacle of Hedonism Choir has been closing this show for over a decade. And the reason that I love this show, and I want to thank the Reverend Angel Dust, I want to thank all of our amazing performers, tapeworm, take chances, get nuts, do weird things. Weirdo is the way.
Yeah.
Do you know why weirdo is the way?
No.
Because everybody is weird to someone else. Which means that even the normal people are so normal they're weird to somebody else. Which means that the value I grew up with, which was shocked to me as an American value, but it should be like a worldly value, is that diversity should be embraced as a strength, not a weakness.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? And there are people who claim to embrace diversity and have no idea what diversity is. When you come to the Tabernacle, you have no idea what diversity was.
Yeah.
You know what it is when you leave here, you just don't know what it was. Okay? But you got to embrace diversity because diversity is a strength, not a weakness. That's in evolution. That's in science. That's in medicine. That's in history. That's in arts. That's in culture. And believe it or not, it's actually in politics, if only they'd catch up with us. Diversity is a strength, not a weakness. And therefore, in our diversity, we welcome you, the entire Tabernacle Choir, all of you, because we know you're going to do some fucked up shit up here. And you don't even know what you're going to do.
Yes.
And it's going to be diverse, I guarantee you. And on behalf of Justin Trudeau, the Queen of Canada, on behalf of the Reverend Angel Dust, who is wearing his hat there that shows that he's gone to other countries
Marijuana grower's hat.
and has evangelized. He's a botanist, on behalf of Michael Garvin, the Minister of the Interior, who created reality as you see it today. On behalf of John Wasser, just look at that shirt, buy one of those things online. If you don't like that, you can get one of his weird gender neutral, what is it, like vampires, fucking werewolves or something? What do you write?
No,
Anyway, that's cool.
Fucking eat humans.
That's awesome. Thank you. And then a Tapeworm is a lovely partner there and bringing your beautiful music about serial killers to us tonight. Thank you for that. And our special guest, thank you for coming. And I probably hated some of what we did and loved some of what we did. And I think everybody embraced you and loved you. I think that's what happened. All of our friends, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Please come at the beginning of the show. There's a show actually that you could see. I know you're coming at the end just because it's over and then you can drink in peace, but try to come. I know, I'm just messing with you. And Alan Bushnell opening up this place, This incredible guy, Robert Young. Look at this cool shirt he just got. Come on, give him a round of applause. Persona went out of business. He scored that for like $8. That shirt rocks. Yeah. And it's Kenneth Cole, so it's a big deal. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, our final performance tonight, we're giving it back to the Indian of America, of the indigenous lands of Canada. You were smoking Canadian marijuana way before Canada even knew Canada was Canada. And that's some heavy shit right there.
I don't think cannabis existed in the New World prior to.
Well, you could be right, Michael, except for the fact that originally, and this is a fact I know that outfacts your fact, it was originally called Cannabis.
That was so lame.
And that's as small as my rich white penis can get. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the entire Tabernacle of Hedonism.
Yeah.
Canada, India.
Hey, y'all. The cannabis thing is totally hilarious. Actually, the Spaniards brought over the cannabis and they started trading with the Indians.
You mean the Spaniards?
Well, they traded with the Indians for tobacco because they got addicted to tobacco because they abused it, and the natives used it for ceremony. And so it was, that was part of their thing. And it's easy to get addicted to anything. You get addicted to whacking off or, taking a big shit.
Guilty!
And it's all kinds of, this thing, you get addicted to. But I love marijuana. I like to wake up and wake and bake and go, woohoo!
Wake and bake.
It's fucking right. But, oh man, I fucking forgot my song I was going to sing. I was talking about that shit.
Short-term memory.
But it's oh man, it comes from fucking crashing my motorcycle. Okay, so as we go on. Okay, this is called Stinky Toilet Paper. Ooh, Stinky toilet paper going down the chute. Stinky toilet making you want to poop off your fingers. You got that all over now. Do you take a whiff? Oh. Yeah. Do you wipe your butt and look at the paper? Do you wrap it up and do it again? And 3 or 4 times. Cause you only got so much toilet paper to get on your mind. Oh, stinky toilet paper. You gotta look at this shit. God, what the hell did I fucking eat last night? Oh, stinky toilet paper. Oh, yeah. Stinky toilet paper makes me feel fine. I can even cut it off with a little dime. No thinking toilet paper. Stinky toilet paper. Ooh. kind of noise you make when you took a shit last night? Was it like, ah? Like, whoa! God damn! That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And good night.
No, wait, well, good night again.
Good night. Thank you. That was really wonderful.
Fantastic.
Wonderful and joyous. Very uplifting. The toilet paper sign at the end, I think, really brought uplifting.
It also brought things together.
It brought things together.
Wrapping it up.
Wrapped it up in a little bowl and smoked it. In Canada. I shake your hand, but yeah.
I'm your setbacks.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay, and Dan.
I get you again?
I don't know whether the fucking player. I think that shit when I'm walking here. What can I do? I didn't practice. I know a lot of punk rock songs, but I saw you get let off.
So you got that right in.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm gonna be